We're back! Geekland! Hi everybody, welcome back to Geekland. Sorry I haven't been around for a while. These past few months have been one non-stop party. More tea, Mr. Shrek? Today on the show, we're going to be talking about the top 5 best sci-fi movies. Because everybody loves sci-fi, right? You feel me? You feeling me right now? You feel this? You feeling it? You felt it? Good. Sci-fi. Who doesn't want to fantasize about some amazing future where everything is possible? Aliens, time travel, space travel, they're all on the list, so let's dive right in. Number 5. Alien. Remember that part of the great movie ride that you always had to close your eyes through as a kid? Well, it's based on a really good movie. Basically, a bunch of space miners are out in the middle of space nowhere looking for minerals to salvage, and they get attacked by this giant half-cockroach, half-booger-looking thing. The production design is so unsettling, from the sets down to the music, and it's a prime example of the sci-fi horror genre. The whole time, you really do feel like you're floating out in space about to get murdered by this terrifying creature. In a good way. A few years later, some Canadian guy made a sequel that a lot of people think is superior to the original, but I don't know. It's so stylistically different, it doesn't really maintain any of the same elements that I liked about the first one. Instead of ambient horror, he sort of morphs it into a standard sci-fi action movie, which is cool, but the original still definitely reigns supreme for me. Number 4. Serenity. Everybody knows the story of Firefly, right? If not, here's a quick recap. So the year is 2002. Joss Whedon, the cinematic genius behind Buffy, Angel, Dollhouse, Buffy, Dr. Horrible, Buffy, The Avengers, and Buffy, decides to make a new TV show, a space western called Firefly. It quickly caught on with cult audiences, but the budget ballooned to several $1 million an episode, which was unheard of in that time. So, 20th Century Fox, the geniuses behind such business decisions as letting George Lucas keep all the merchandising rights to Star Wars, letting Jerry Seinfeld keep all the syndication rights to Seinfeld, and canceling the most critically acclaimed comedy series of all time after 3 seasons, decided to knock Firefly off the air and make it into a movie instead. So what did we end up getting? A movie that's 100 times better than the show ever could have been! Let me break it down for you. Serenity. A sci-fi diesel punk action comedy drama thriller space western about cowboy astronaut pirates fighting to keep a psychic teenager safe from space zombies. And also the guy from 12 Years a Slave has a sword. It's so awesome, it's so entertaining, and I know I'm gonna get a lot of backlash for this, but it's honestly so good, it's worth the show having gotten canceled so early. What? Number 3. Star Trek: The Wrath of Khan. The cinematic pinnacle of the greatest sci-fi franchise of all time clocks in at number 3. Hold on. That's more like it. God, this movie is so awesome! I have no idea how this movie manages to be so campy, yet so intense at the same time. This movie's about Khan, a genetically engineered warlord played by Ricardo Montalban in one of the greatest villain roles of all time. He seeks revenge against Captain Kirk for stranding him on an uninhabitable planet years earlier. The two characters never actually meet throughout the entire movie, but their cat-and-mouse chess game is the stuff of legends. Not to mention that legendary man cleavage, am I right? Am I right? Am I right? Number 2. Terminator 2: Judgment Day. She's not my mother, Todd. Ha! Just couldn't resist doing another costume change, huh? What were we talking about? Terminator 2, right, okay. Time-traveling robots, Arnold Schwarzenegger, liquid metal, annoying kid, bunch of iconic lines, groundbreaking CGI, one of the best movies ever made.
Come with me if you want to live.
Before I tell you my number 1 pick, some very well-deserved honorable mentions go out to Back to the Future, Metropolis, Inception, Star Trek First Contact, The Matrix, Minority Report, RoboCop, and of course, Uncle Buck. And the number 1 best sci-fi movie ever is Blade Runner. I mean, how could it not be Blade Runner? It's a neo-noir cyberpunk action thriller about Harrison Ford playing a detective who kills robots. This movie is so good that it completely redefined how sci-fi looked and was handled from then on out. Every sci-fi movie to come out since Blade Runner has just been desperately trying to be Blade Runner. It's so good, it's so weird, it's so influential, there's really no surprise that it's number one on this list. So there you have it, those are my personal picks for the top 5 best sci-fi movies. You might have noticed that Star Wars wasn't on this list, and that's because Star Wars isn't sci-fi! Please don't debate me on this, it's not. It's fantasy, it's set in space, just, What were your favorite sci-fi movies? Leave your answers in the comments below, along with any questions or suggestions you might have for future videos. From Geekland, this is Mickey, and oh my god, I forgot 2001: A Space Odyssey. There's no way I'm reshooting this. Damn it!
Science fiction, double feature, Dr. X will build a creature.
I want a divorce.